Hi folks, welcome back to the shop here at Project Pine Hills. Today we're talking about this Klein Tools 13-in-1 pocket screwdriver. You can see the part number is 32600P. So you can see it has several different bits, and it also has a magnetic pickup tool. A quick look at the back, you can pause the video and check out the bit loadout. The handle is compatible with 1/4-inch bits, we're going to talk about that, and it's made in Taiwan. Now we've had this screwdriver on the channel before. You can see here I have in this pouch the 13-in-1. I'll have a link to the video. You'll probably see it on your screen in the upper right hand corner on a mobile device. And I'll also have a link to it at the end of this video. But you notice this screwdriver has a blue ring right here. And it had a little different part number. You can see the part number was 32611P. It had this plumbing pipe on the front. So I think that and the blue ring indicated this was more for plumbers. But now Klein has updated that. And the biggest change is 3 bits they've swapped out between the two. You can see the original screwdriver came with 3 hex bits. When you look at the new one, it has 2 square bits, size number 1 and 2, and it also has a torque size T15 bit. So that's the major difference between these two drivers. So let's check this one out. All right, here's a look at this screwdriver. You can see it's got Klein Tools stamped right there in the rubber overmold. We flip it around, you can see that new part number, the 32600P. It's got a spinner cap on the end. If we look at that, you'll see it says 13-in-1 pocket on it. But you'll notice that this screwdriver has a gray ring right here where the spinner cap is, whereas the original screwdriver had the blue ring up here. So I think the blue ring is more for plumbers, and this gray ring is more for electricians. This screwdriver is different than other pocket screwdrivers. That's what I like about it. For example, it has a magnetic pickup tool, and you can see it's a strong magnet. I can pick up this 9/16 bolt, no problem, and hold that. And if we pull this shank out, you can flip it around, and now you get some extension, and you can put bits here on the end. Now it has 2 bits here already in the shank, and I think Klein kind of makes a mistake here because what they should show you is that it comes with a number 2 Phillips, and right here it is. So now this screwdriver, if you look here, can be much more useful every day because it has a number 2 Phillips driver in it. So you can see I can take this, put it in a number 2 Phillips screw, and it fits in there really well. Pretty good bite. Now it's not a substitute for a regular number 2 Phillips screwdriver. Here's a full-size Klein screwdriver, and you can see how it fits in the screw. Of course, this Klein screwdriver is going to have a lot more leverage in the handle, but it's going to work for a lot of screws where you don't need that leverage. So you can see it gets a pretty good fitment there on a number 2 Phillips. Now, not only does this screwdriver have a magnetic pickup tool, but it also magnetizes the bits. You can see I can pick this screw up, no problem. Now, the other end of that, we have that square number 2, right? So we can flip this around, use that, and then it has bit storage in the handle. So if we open this up, there's 4 double-ended bits in here, so there's a total of 8 bits in the handle. And here, for example, is the number 1 square bit. We can put that out here. And you can see, for example, it fits screws and receptacles. Now, it's not going to give you the leverage you need to really bear down on these. As I've said earlier, you want to use something with more leverage when you're tightening up these screws, of course. But that's the idea, is that this is more suited for electricians. Now, you can see all the bits are stamped or marked with their sizes. There's a Phillips 00 and a 3/32 driver right there. Now you can see that gray ring there at the back. It's different than the blue ring that you see on the other driver, right? So you can get a better look there. So it's not only the number 2 Phillips that makes this screwdriver really handy. If you take out this shank, it has a 1/4-inch collet in here. That means it'll work with any 1/4-inch bit. So I got a Klein Tools number 2 Phillips here. So I can pop that right in there and turn that. You can see they show that right here on the packaging. In fact, they even show it working with 1-inch insert bits. I've got a slotted bit here, USA made Klein bit. See, that fits in there fine. I could run that. But you can put anything that's hex in here. And it also makes it compatible with Klein's Knect system. Here we got one of their mini bod boxes. And you see we can open this up, take out this mini ratchet. And if you take the shank here on this Klein screwdriver, you can see it's compatible. I can slide it right in there. It works with this Klein Knect system. Of course, then we could go in here and take out this bit extension, and it fits in the Klein screwdriver. And now we can run any of these 1-inch insert bits with some extension, right? So I can put that in there like that, or I can take out this extension and we can just run the 1-inch bits just like Klein shows there on the packaging. So now you have compatibility with Klein's mod box setup. So these two really complement each other, and it goes beyond that. So you could even go to other Klein Knect systems. This is the Klein starter kit, and we can take out one of these flip sockets here. And of course I can put that in here, and now we can run this Klein 1/4-inch and 5/16 flip socket. So I can just flip that around, and now I can turn screws with that. Flip it back around to the 1/4-inch side, grab a 1/4-inch screw. You can see it magnetically retains the screw in there. It's just a really handy screwdriver that Klein has here. And I really like the fact that it's compatible with Klein's Knect system, right? And of course, the great thing about Klein Knect, if you're not aware, is all these Klein mod boxes are designed to work together. So I can take this Klein mini mod box and attach it to that starter kit, and they'll stay together. And if I want to remove it, I just take this smaller box, push it forward, comes right off. This is a close-up version of that starter kit. I have a link to this in the description along with this mini ratchet as well. So that's what I really like about this 13-in-1 pocket screwdriver. You have a lot of choices here, and now Klein's giving you another choice, right? You can either pick the plumbing version of this screwdriver or you can pick the Electrician's version. So let's look at the difference here in the bit loadout. Here's a look at the difference of the bit loadout of these two screwdrivers. You can see that original Klein plumber screwdriver there with the blue ring on the left and the gray ring on the right. And you can see the difference here is in these two bits. We have two hex bits here on the left, and we have that 7/64 hex there on the right. When we come over here, you can see they spread the differences across three different bits. You've got that square number 1 here on this bit, square number 2 over here, and the T15 right there. So right here is the precise difference between these two screwdrivers. Now, one thing to know about Klein's precision bits is that they're all sized the same at 3.5 millimeters. A lot of precision bits are sized at 4 millimeters. Klein does theirs at 3.5. So if you're thinking of using other bits with this other than Klein, it's not going to work. But I think Klein has that smaller bit design, so the shanks are smaller and they'll fit into smaller recessed holes. Now you see these screwdrivers do have a spinning cap. That's designed so you can take the screwdriver and spin it in the palm of your hand. Now here's a look at Klein's very common 4-in-1 screwdriver. Also has that spinning cap on it. It's a flip bit style system where you can flip out the shank and flip it around. It doesn't have any bit storage in the handle, so the handle's smaller, and it also has flip bits in it. And you can get a look there at how it compares to Klein's 13-in-1. You can see the spinning cap is the same size on the end, but the handle is a little bit bigger on this 13-in-1. But I do like this 13-in-1 better because you have a lot more bits with it, right? This is only 4 and you get 13 here. And this can also reduce down into a much smaller size, right? Taking up a lot less room in your bag or in your pocket. Now, if you want even more bit options than the 13-in-1, Klein also makes this 27-in-1 tamper-proof screwdriver that has bits in the carousel. You can see this carousel rotates, lots of options there. You can't take the shank off this one though, so it's going to be this length no matter what and take up that much space. So of course this guy, of course, you can break it down, make it much smaller, but there's a quick size comparison between those two. This carousel spins around in the 27-in-1. If we look at the 13-in-1, the carousel's fixed, so you have to spin the screwdriver to look at the different bits, but there's only 4 in there. So, and also it seems like it makes this carousel more stable because this is such a small driver with the carousel in it. And one thing to be aware of is that the bits that are in this 27-in-1 are also compatible with this Klein 13-in-1 screwdriver. So if you happen to have this one and there's some bits you prefer to have in the 13-in-1, you could bring those over. And of course, this 27-in-1 also has that number 2 Phillips. With this handle, it gives you a lot more torque on that bit, but I'll also have a link to this in the description so you can check it out. So there you have it, folks. Just a quick look at the Klein Tools 13-in-1 pocket screwdriver, the Electrician version, the part number 32600P. I'll have a link in the video description so you can check it out. Let me know in the comments what you think of this screwdriver, whether you think it's better than the plumbing version, or maybe you want both. And please remember to like and subscribe. All those actions help me to continue to bring content to you here on the Project Pine Hills channel. And with that said, I'll catch you in the next video.